G'day guys, how you going? My name is Vlad Shatrov. You may have seen or heard of me before in and around the Runlab world, but I'm essentially the founder of Runlab, a company which is still very young, which only started just a couple of short years ago now. So just a little bit about me and what I've achieved. I guess I'm not the best runner in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but I am a very versatile runner. And I've held national championships in 50k events, both on the road and on the trail, amongst other things, including the North Face 50 and the Canberra Ultra Marathon last year. More than that, I started off in triathlon myself. I've raced for an Australian team as an age grouper. I have done the Kona Ironman in Hawaii. And I've also won many races, road racing over the last couple of years especially, and placed multiple times in the top 20 of big world marathons, including Paris and Chicago a couple of years ago. So that's a little bit about me. I guess, what I've found in my running career is that it was always the interval training, which was the only way really to get better at running, and hence the passion for creating something which was more, I guess, able to be brought to the masses. I found that interval training was only really offered at a couple of places. Sometimes the groups were a little bit cliquey. Sometimes it was run by athletics clubs, and it was hard for people to get into that. So the idea of bringing interval-based training to people that just want to get faster and better at fun runs grew more and more, and eventually we started Runlab, and that's where you find us today, eventually launching in the Sutherland and Cronulla areas, or called the Shire. So a little bit more about what Runlab is. There's three words that I talk about now. It's about being faster, it's about being stronger, and it's about being more aware. So the fast part comes from our main offering, which is the My Run group, which is our interval sessions. And they're the hard, interval running sessions that we do on a weekly basis, and shortly to come to a location right next to you. Then the strength part comes from our new gym class called Run Strong. And that sort of takes away and addresses the belief that the only way that a runner gets better is by running. Well, there's actually a point where you stop becoming better, and you get potentially the likelihood of getting injured increases. So we've developed a very functional dynamic strength class called Run Strong to support our runners, which will be coming in 2015 to an area near you. And then the awareness part really comes from both of the interval sessions and the gym classes at the same time. The people that we have running these sessions are very well educated professionals in their own right, and there's always a reason for what we do, and we always explain that within the sessions. So we're trying to develop very much an awareness about why we do things like that, why we do that drill, and why specifically we're doing that type of interval training to help you get better. So three words: faster, stronger, and more aware. The offerings, briefly the offerings that we have, I've already described, but an additional component that we added last year was Run Camp, and we held our first Run Camp near Newcastle at Glenrock in winter, and it was very successful. It was a 3-day, quite intensive camp where we catered for multiple levels of runners, but it was more than just running. It was about giving them an education, and that's something that we're going to do going forward. We're very likely to have a camp running sometime over the Christmas break, and we're also definitely still going to have the June long weekend winter camp in Glenrock National Park in Newcastle next year. What does a typical session look like? So as I said, our main offering really at the moment is still our weekly My Group Run interval sessions, 75-minute sessions, graded by ability. So we have what we call A, B and C type runners. We do a warm-up which has a dynamic component built into it, which is all about doing specific drills, which then feed into the main interval set. A main interval set could look something like 6x1Ks with a short recovery, and some fast 100-metre sprints. It could look like 2 by 9 minute progressive tempos with some 400s added onto the back of it. But they're very much all specifically made to make you a stronger runner, and it doesn't matter how good a runner or how improving a runner you are going to be challenged by the coaches and the way that we've developed this program. The end of every session always finishes as well with some core work. We call it run core, and it usually involves TRX, very dynamic exercises which only really take 5 to 6 minutes, but are all about making you more aware of the importance of having a strong core group to support good running form. And it's only really touches on what Run Strong, the actual gym class, does in itself. So 75 minutes in total, lots to cover, runs every week in a location near you. Some people love to do 2 sessions a week and others just like to do 1, but it's up to you. I guess the other thing we need to talk about today is welcoming the team. Damon has brought on an exceptionally talented team, including himself and his coaches, and you're all going to be in capable hands. They are going to deliver the My Run Group training program exactly as I've built it up here in Newcastle and Sydney, and I'm actually going to come down and help assist or be a part of the rollout in the Cronulla and Sutherland areas, and I can't wait to do that and to meet you all. But I'd really like to take the opportunity to welcome Damon and his team, and thank you for the enthusiasm and commitment he's shown so far. And also we have some amazing partners. Our strongest partner in Sydney would now be Runlab and Sean, and we're very excited to continue working on the relationship we've built there, very similar to the relationship we have in Newcastle with the Pure Performance Sports run store, where in both of these locations now we hold like a weekly free run, which is just about giving people that additional supported safe run throughout the week to help their training. And we just look forward really to you joining in and being part of the journey as we grow and evolve, and before we roll out nationally next year. So welcome.